Hi, welcome to Sue Marie Pete. Today I'm going to share how to make an easy rice pudding on a stovetop. Here it's called Santa Claus porridge. How cool is that? It's often served at Christmas time in the evening on Christmas Eve, and I'm going to make my version and let's get cooking. So I don't have any leftover rice, so I need to boil some rice. So I've got 2 cups of water and just 1 cup of raw rice, and that'll make about 2 cups or a little bit more of rice pudding. My method is I usually boil this on a medium heat for about 12 minutes until all the water is absorbed, and then I pop the lid on for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we add in all the other stuff. Hey Siri, set a timer for 12 minutes. The other thing you can do is add a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt. The salt brings out the flavour, apparently. Oh, and the rice I usually use is basmati rice, but you can use a short grain rice. Some people like to use like a sushi rice, but this is what I always have in the cupboard, so that's what I use. My timer's gone off, so I'm just going to cover it and let it rest here for 10 minutes. So if you can see that, the rice has absorbed all the water. Next step is to make the pudding. So I'm going to add in 3 cups of soy milk, and you can use any milk of your choice. 1/4 cup of sugar. You can leave that out or add less or do an alternative sweetener if you're avoiding too much sugar. I like to add a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of vanilla sugar, or you can also add vanilla extract, but I would add the vanilla extract towards the end. And not traditional Swedish, but I like to add 1/2 cup of raisins. This is my mum's way, and I love this kind of food when I feel sick or unwell. And it's a great one to stockpile and pop in the freezer. So now all I do is I just let the rice pudding simmer away on kind of like a medium heat. I've got it on a P2 on this because it's my portable stovetop. If I've got it on my induction hob, it's usually on about a 5. I often just use up leftover rice and make it and sit and watch a movie, and then every now and then I'll jump up and stir it. So it usually takes about 30 to 35 minutes until it all gets nice and thick. So my rice pudding is nice and thick. We've got about 7 minutes left on my timer. So I'm going to turn my heat off and let it sit here to cool down for about 10 minutes. So my rice pudding is all thick and ready to serve. And just before I serve it, I just wanted to show you a close-up how great that looks. The smell of vanilla and cinnamon is absolutely delicious. Now, as I said earlier, this is something that is eaten quite often in Sweden at Christmas time. But my recipe is not quite traditionally Swedish. Often in Sweden they put cream and eggs and butter in their mixture. Mine's a version of what my mum made, except I'm using soy milk and less sugar. So you feel free to have a little play and tweak to suit your taste buds. Oh, also in Sweden they don't add the raisins. So I usually just scoop it out like that. And you could also have it for dessert with vanilla ice cream. It tastes delicious as well. Okay, I'll let the rest cool down and put it in containers. So this is what I usually put it in. I measure it out to be about 150 to 200 grams per container and pop a lid on. When it's completely cool, I store it in the freezer, and then I can just bring it out the night before and have it for breakfast or a snack. Or if I'm going to think we're going to eat it during the week, I'll just store it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 days. So I just wanted to show you how I would serve it for breakfast. If I've got some berries in the freezer, I'll get them out. So I've got some blueberries that I got out earlier. I'm just going to try and not put the juice on there. It's just so they look pretty for the photographs. And I often love having something like a toasted almond or toasted seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle some toasted seeds. We've got bananas in the house, we might serve it with bananas. So that's what it looks like. I'm not going to eat into this one because I'm going to keep it looking good for the photographs. But for you there, I'm going to dive into this one. I think it's still a bit hot. This reminds me of home. My mum always made this and we ate it when we felt sick. Last week I was sick and I was fortunate enough to have some in the freezer, so I got it out and I was able to eat this. Gentle on the stomach. Real winter comfort food. Or if you're in somewhere where it's warm at the moment, serve it cold. Hope you've liked my easy stovetop rice pudding. Let me know in the comments below what your version of rice pudding is and if you eat it at Christmas time. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Hej då from Sweden!